This is the Revolting Blob, and you're watching Cold TV. Ah!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another action-packed episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we discuss everything that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother this week, hailing from Warner Robins, Georgia itself, Mr. B-Roll.
How are we doing out there, world? You know, XLJ, I am excited for this episode of PW60. I know, compared to the past couple of weeks, maybe this one's a little bit more of like a.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what to say.
In comparison to other weeks, it's pretty slowed down, and there's still a lot that happened though in the world of pro wrestling. We're going to cover for you here on this episode, but
definitely still a lot that happened.
And hey, it's always action packed when you're on the road to WrestleMania, which we sure are right now.
Yes, it is indeed, and do a little teaser, if you will. We got a couple of surprises, maybe some announcements at the end. So stick around, kiddos.
We have to check that out. Yes, we got a couple of
adultos. But as always
tonight.
on PW60, it doesn't start till I say it starts. The clock starts now.
Yes, indeed. And our top story of the week, because it's the never-ending story.
I'm just wondering when the dragon shows up. That's all I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be coming soon. So, yes, this road to WrestleMania, this wild and crazy road to WrestleMania, this main event, it is getting some wild and curvy, and we got some stuff to report from this past week, don't we, Mr. B-Roll?
DDO from both sides.
From both sides. Well, first and foremost, it appears that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have made a temporary alliance, an alliance of some sort, in order to dethrone and take down the Bloodline. As Seth Rollins has proclaimed that he's got Cody's back, and if anybody can be his shield, I see what you did there, WWE. It's going to be Seth Rollins. I don't know. What are you thinking about this, man? Can Cody trust Seth? That's my first thing. I'm like,
who knows? And let me apologize for my dogs in the background if anybody can hear them.
Yes.
They're not happy campers right now, but
and mine are probably going to be reacting to yours here real soon. Right now they're napping.
So, but it's PW60. Got to roll with the punches.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Honestly, what I'm more interested in is, did The Rock join the Bloodline?
It appears so, as The Rock did come out on Friday Night SmackDown and did proclaim, if you smell what the Bloodline is cooking. A lot of people indifferent on this that segment. I think mostly because most of you people are fickle. I'm sorry, I said what I said. The online internet fans is always going to find something to bitch about. But I do kind of see some of what they're saying, like, oh, well, it's just The Rock recycling stuff from, 20 years ago or whatever. That shit worked wonders back then. And hey, man, it's not like you go to, like, let's say you go to a Kiss concert and you're like, oh, God, they're playing Detroit Rock City again. No, fuck no. You're like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, they're playing Detroit Rock City. The Rock's
Yep.
playing you his greatest hits. In the words of The Rock,
Yep.
know your role and shut your mouth and enjoy the ride, folks. I love this segment. I thought it was great. I am so happy to see Heel Rock back. And yes, let's talk about the $500 shirt is back now. So with inflation and stuff, even though I cut off the sleeves, is it like $5,000 now? I'm gonna say it is. But
His arms were too big.
yes, do you think Under Armour will be producing this Rock shirt in like a couple months or something? Maybe.
Sure, why
Perhaps.
not?
Sure, why not? But nonetheless, The Rock did proclaim that Cody Rhodes was going down, but conspiracy theorist Timmy B roll, and I know you too. Did he really? There was a little bit of some Easter eggs in that promo, wasn't there, Friday night?
You know me and my attention to detail and the little minute
Yes.
things. But I mean, if you look, you can even see it in that picture.
It's right there. Look, he's not even
kind
putting
of
the
got.
he's not even putting the finger up right. He's doing it in the traditional shape of an L. Also, too, a lot of people pointed out that when The Rock says that you are going to lose at WrestleMania, he was looking right at Roman. Do you think this is a ruse all along? The Rock is infiltrating the bloodline. That way he can help Cody at WrestleMania. Have we already figured out the ruse this early on? Is there more to it? That's the beautiful thing. You keep asking yourself, what if? And hey, you're tuning in every week because you want to see what the hell is going to happen next. And that's what pro wrestling's all about. So,
and
step back,
one more comment.
enjoy the ride.
Yep.
Just let them cook. Let them cook.
And one more comment on you had said that that he's just reusing. You know what? Pretty much everything in wrestling has been used a time or two.
Yeah,
it's all reused.
I loved it when he was like talking about the Cody crybabies, which I am one. And I'm talking about them how they're like sitting on their toilet, like tweeting and whatnot, and it's just like he's not wrong. I mean, the man's not wrong. I'm just saying, but nonetheless, very interesting week here, and this story progresses, and it's going to be interesting tonight on Raw to see what Cody and Seth are going to be getting into, because we do know Cody Rhodes is going to be wrestling Drew McIntyre tonight, which that's going to be a hell of a matchup. But we do know, guaranteed, the next time when we will see these two in the ring together, and that's going to be at the Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, as Australia's own Grayson Waller may be hosting his biggest episode yet of the Grayson Waller Effect, because Cody and Seth are going to be there. Roman's already saying he's going to be in Australia. Do you think The Rock makes an appearance in Australia?
Yes.
I do too.
Because the Australian government inquired about it or something like that. But
and they're going to pay it.
Also, if you think about it, when was the last time on a pay-per-view, yes, pay-per-view, not premium live event, that Cody Rhodes was on the Grayson Waller Effect? What did he announce? That
that's right.
Jey Uso was coming to Raw.
Okay.
So that was a pretty major chip that was played or whatever, and the story of going into WrestleMania. So
yeah, there's a lot of rumblings going around. When we don't know this, nothing's confirmed yet, but the big rumor going around is that the night one main event would be Cody and Seth going up against Roman and The Rock. And then night two, Cody, of course, against Roman, and Seth would defend his world title against whoever's going to win the men's elimination chamber, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Do you think that's accurate? You think that's what we're going to see?
Possibly.
I mean, it's just crazy to think we were talking about Seth Rollins. Is he going to be able to compete? Let alone, oh my God, he's going to wrestle 2 times at WrestleMania weekend.
I just figured it out.
Uh-oh.
WrestleMania cash in.
A lot of people speculating that the Senior Money in the Bank will be cashing in at Mania. It makes sense, but it just depends on who at the end of either night 1 or night 2 is the world champion. Though. Like, does he? Oh, so does Senior Money in the Bank come in down at the tag match and catch in, and then you get Damien against whoever won the Elimination Chamber night 2?
Yep.
Interesting. I bet Papa H is listening in on our conversation, so just know it. But...
Oh, probably. But I tell you what, we got a lot more to talk about, so we better keep this train rolling.
We sure do. Well, let's talk about this past week on Monday Night Raw, an explosive show that we got to see a lot of Elimination Chamber qualifiers. We know LA Knight's in after that impressive win against Ivar. We also know on the women's side of things, Liv Morgan did advance with after defeating Zoe Stark. How about that opener with Imperium going up against the New Day and Jey Uso, man? As you're drinking your, what's that you're drinking there, bro? Is that a Ghost hydration drink? Ghost hydration. You need to sponsor us.
Call me.
Call me. Also, what do you think of the Sami Zayn Shinsuke Nakamura segments? I love like Shinsuke like interrupting him in the arena there, that empty arena. They're doing the promo, and then like Shinsuke picking up a big win, a much needed win against Sami Zayn. And of course,
would say everything Shinsuke is doing right now is some of the best Shinsuke's done in a while. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair because they haven't really done a whole lot with him. So, yeah, that's a fair assessment. I'll give you that. But nonetheless, Monday Night Raw was a solid show. Also, huge shout out to the Judgment Day's R-Truth. Poor man, like getting jumped by his own faction. Could you believe it? And then who would come out to save the day? None other than D-Generation X. Have you seen the photos and stuff of like Ciampa and Gargano as Shawn Michaels and Triple H?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's great. It's great.
I
love
internet.
R-Truth.
The internet can be a scary place and a beautiful place all at the same time.
Man, R-Truth has to get like a huge matchup at WrestleMania this year. It has to happen, bro. Like, we got talking into existence. Like, that man, the work he's doing now, ever since he's came back, God, it's been so great. I love R-Truth. R-Truth's a national treasure, man. Like, how could you not like R-Truth? Am I right?
Hey, fun fact. Who has the most championships in the WWE?
Oh, yeah, championship wins. Technically, it is R-Truth because we're counting the 24/7 title, which he held, like, 67 times or something like that. I've lost track. But anyways, nonetheless, Raw, solid show. But we got to talk about Friday Night SmackDown, which was a damn solid show as well. Got some Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber qualifiers. See, I got Senior Money in the Bank on my mind, man. We did see Kevin Owens advance to the field of 6 in the men's. And finally, we got to see Logan Paul compete in his first televised match on SmackDown as he defeated his former partner, The Miz, to earn that 6th and final spot in the men's Elimination Chamber. We also got to see Tiffany Stratton advance to the women's Elimination Chamber after defeating Selena Vega. And Naomi is in the Elimination Chamber as well as she defeated Alba Fire. And also, you see a big moment here for Braun Breaker. It looks like he is going to be joining the Friday Night SmackDown roster. But Friday night was all about the appearance of The Rock and Roman and the Bloodline. Like you say, man, both are pretty solid. Both were pretty solid shows, of course, because we are on that road to WrestleMania, baby. Well, Mr. B-Roll, I think it has come that time in the show. We go to our Tribal Queen B. Cannot talk, man. Our Tribal Queen Bree with her Tribal Queen tidbit of the week.
Hello, everyone. This is your Tribal Queen Bree with your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week. My tidbit of the week is I learned that when you go to a deathmatch show, bring protective goggles. I have some sitting over in my seat next to me. Currently heading to Circle 6. Also, I have a gripe for Paul Triple H Levesque. Why, in the Elimination Chamber match, did you not give Logan Paul's spot to Grayson Waller, Austin Theory's best buddy? Come on, Paul. It's his home country. Don't just give him the Grayson Waller effect. Give him a spot in that match. Or do something with him in a match. Okay, that's it. A little bit of rambling, but that was your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week, or tidbits.
You know, she's not wrong. I would have preferred to kind of see him get a match. I'm okay with the Grayson Waller effect being on the show, but I mean, I feel like we need to get all of our Australian competitors on this show. And to me, the biggest slight, and we didn't really cover this, but Bobby Lashley defeating Bronson Reed in a qualifier. I mean, Bronson was going to be in his hometown, his home state, his home country there. I'm showing my Americanism. Anyways, I was shocked about that one. Were you? I mean, as great as Bobby Lashley is, like, really?
Yeah, but it's character building, I guess you could say, because now Bronson Reed could have something to gripe about. I don't know. I'm trying to make lemons or lemonade out of lemons, or
A little bit of a
like that.
stretch, but I hope he gets a pretty big moment at Elimination Chamber, maybe a match or something, or maybe just comes in and just destroys everybody in the chamber. Who knows? I don't know. But we do know that all the men who have qualified for the Elimination Chamber, it is going to be Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul. Is that everybody? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, and LA Knight. LA Knight. Duh. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all be in the men's Elimination Chamber. The women's, we pretty much know who it's going to be. It's Becky Lynch. We know Bianca Belair. We also know Naomi is in, as well as Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan. Of course, tonight on Raw, we're going to get that Last Chance Battle Royal. There are a lot of rumors about who that person could be. Some people are thinking it's Jade Cargill. We've also heard some plans have been scrapped there. So, I don't know. We're going to have to tune in tonight to see who gets in that last spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber in Perth. Speaking of the women, also, too, Nia Jax will be challenging Rhea Ripley for that Women's Championship. And speaking of Rhea and the Judgment Day, of course, we know they will be defending the tag team titles against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Let me ask you this, and I don't think this is too much of a stretch. Do you think Rhea and Nia main event this show?
If Rhea doesn't main event this show, I think Australia will riot.
Yeah, I mean, it's plain to me. It's plain as day. That's what closes the show, man. You got to put mommy out there, mommy on top, baby, as always. But Elimination Chamber is looking pretty stacked. I'm sure we may get another match announced here, and we're going to find out who that last competitor is. But
you gonna watch it live?
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to put a pot of coffee on or something. I'm going to make that one. So I usually wake up around that time. It's around 6 a.m., right? Eastern?
5 a.m.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. That extra earlier hour. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Definitely going to catch the replay. Let's put it that way. But you can catch that on Peacock this Saturday at 5 a.m. Wonderful. Well, Mr. B-Roll, let's talk about Tuesday nights. Let's talk about NXT, baby. First and foremost, that damn Carmelo Hayes, man. Going up against Joe Gacy. I didn't like that. I like Joe Gacy too much. I don't like seeing him get like his butt kicked, even though Carmelo is him. What do you think about Roxanne Perez's little attitude change here these past couple weeks? Getting a little feisty.
Getting a little sassy.
A little sassy. But the big moment from Tuesday night, we got to see the tag team titles go up for grabs, and Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin have defeated the family. They are your new NXT tag team champions, and man, oh man, what a hell of a week for Braun Breaker. Signs with Friday Night SmackDown, wins the NXT tag team titles. Well, that being said, of course, Braun Breaker is our wrestler of the week here on PW60. A little kind of confused with the whole why put the straps on a guy who's just leaving, but I get it for the perspective of the story that was going on in NXT. Like,
well, here's the thing.
Okay,
brands, they don't matter. They don't matter.
You're not wrong there, my friend.
They freaking unified the women's NXT and they unified those tag titles.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I wish we could just completely do away with like the brand stuff, but it is what it is. So, congratulations though to Braun Breaker. Well deserved for him to get called up to the main roster, and it'll be interesting to see what he does there. And
everybody wants to be the PW60 Wrestler of the Week. I mean, you are in pristine company when you become the PW60 Wrestler of the Week.
Careers take off, babies are made. I mean, it's a huge moment. I don't know why babies are made, but anyways. Now this past week, unfortunately, we did find out at the NXT tapings, one Shotzi Blackheart was injured. She's gonna be out for a little while. It sounds like with a, I believe it was a knee injury. You're gonna forgive me. I don't remember what the extent of it was. Was it like an MCL tear or something like that? ACL?
I don't remember, but she's gonna be out for a while.
ABCDEFG tear. But yeah, something. One good though. So you hate to hear that, but we at PW60 we wish Shotzi well and hope she gets back in the ring and recovered very, very soon. All right, let's turn our attentions now to AEW, and let's talk about that Dynamite episode. What a way to kick it off, too, with Mox going up against Dax. That was a damn fine matchup. What do you make of that damn Christian coming out and ruin that number one contenders match with Daniel Garcia and Adam Copeland? Do you think this means we're going to get like a three-way between them at the Revolution now or something?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Because I'm a big Daniel Garcia fan.
Yeah, he's red hot right now.
But I'm also like, does it really make sense, like, for the story they've been telling with Adam and Christian? And
yeah, that's true. It's kind of like it's a little bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? It's like, let's just throw them in. I don't know. We're gonna find out here really soon. Those damn Young Bucks, though. Oh my gosh! Did you think they were gonna deliver the trigger to Tony Schiavone? I mean, in this picture, it looks like it's gonna happen.
I think they were.
Mm-hmm. They had second thoughts, the bastards. Also, Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue went at it, but B-roll, we got to talk about that explosive Texas Deathmatch main event between Matt Taven and Orange Cassidy. They were bleeding buckets in this one, bro. Like, this was a brutal, brutal ass match, especially for television, man. I was very impressed. Also, too, I think this is I just realized this statistic. Is this the first Texas Deathmatch in AEW since the matchup at Full Gear with Swerve and Hangman?
Was that at Full Gear?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Well, nonetheless, it was a hell of a matchup, and of course, it had to be our match of the week here on PW60 was that Texas Deathmatch with Orange Cassidy and Matt Taven. Hey, speaking of Orange, have you seen these pictures of him at the over in England right now? Like they were at the Rev Pro show, him and Darby along with Tony Khan, and I think they went to a soccer game or something like that.
Yep, they went to a Fulham game, and then I went to a Rev Pro show. But so Fulham is the team that Tony Khan and his dad own.
Oh,
and
they're pretty much backing AEW. Yeah, I'm a Fulham fan through and through. Love them for years.
They are in the Premier
League, of course. Yep, phenomenal team. They've had an incredible, rich history. One of the best teams out there. Highly underrated, in my opinion. I think they will win their championship this year.
Actually, so true story. I used to be a big Fulham fan because one of my favorite football players or soccer players, as you'd say in the Americas, Clint Dempsey used to play for the USA national team.
Oh yes. He had a hell of a run. Good, awesome player, solid player, had a great game. Everything he did was.
He doesn't play for them anymore.
He's a son of a bitch then, because he left Papa Khan. Anyways, he was a great player when he played for him. But enough about soccer. Let's talk more about wrestling. Let's talk about Rampage from Friday night, as we got to see Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs in action. Always great when you get to see them in Tejas. Also, looks like Cool Hand Ange and Ruby are finally going to go on that date. That's going to be interesting. Also got to see the Bang Bang Scissor Gang in action for the first time in a big old 6-man or a 12-man war. But let's talk about the main event. Well, people are talking about the no DQ match, Jeff Hardy and Sammy Guevara, because y'all have seen the footage. Jeff Hardy did get injured in this matchup from Sammy Guevara with that nasty-looking knee to the face with the shooting star press. Sammy Guevara is always a controversial figure. This does not do anything to help his cred. What do you make of this matchup? And do you think does this really kind of knock Sammy Guevara down even more on the totem pole? Should we really be calling him one of the pillars at this point? I just don't feel like he is.
Sammy Guevara.
I feel like he takes one step forward and 3 steps back, honestly.
What to do if you, Sammy Guevara? Crazy talented kid, crazy athletic.
Yeah.
He is the Big Show of the pillars. It's what he is.
Oh.
Always flipping, flopping, heel, babyface.
Not to be confused with Paul White, folks. I thought that's where you were going. I was like, oh, okay. I know.
No, that is where I'm going.
It is where you're going? Okay, so explain. I guess I'm not following it.
The always flippy flopping from heel to babyface.
Oh, when you say flippy floppy, I'm thinking in the ring, because that's kind of his thing. I got you. I'm following you now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not you know me. I'm not a huge Sammy fan. No disrespect to him, but I just don't know.
Yeah. But if you're
going against Jeff, this is a match. I'm turning my channel because I just really don't care for either competitors. I said what I said.
If you're asking me, do I think he did it on purpose? No, I don't think he did it on purpose.
No, I don't think he did it on purpose. But I don't know. There's a track record here of guys getting injured, mainly if their name's Hardy. Apparently, he hates the Hardy Boys, which is funny. There's a picture of him with Jeff Hardy, and he loved the Hardy Boys growing up. But I don't know, man. It's an unfortunate set of circumstances that has happened to one Sammy Guevara, but hopefully Jeff Hardy's going to be okay, and he'll be back in the ring in no time. So, but that was pretty much everything that happened on Rampage. Actually, let's go to our good, close personal friend, the Best Scout Machine, because he's got a little something to say, a little report for us on what we saw this past Saturday night on Collision. Or wait a minute, what?
Dub City. Oh, Saturday night. It's all right for fighting. I'm gonna watch me some AEW Collision. Where's AEW Collision? I'm scared. It's like NBA is on. I don't know anything about basketball. I'm scared. I didn't even like the movie Like Mike. Oh God, thank God there's Japanese wrestling. I know a lot of you folks are like, oh yeah, I love Japanese wrestling. No, most of you just like New Japan. There's like a million companies out there like Freedoms, Noah, All Japan. There's Joshi companies like TJPW and Stardom. So let me educate your asses. Your sweet asses. I would say the big number 2 in Japan right now is Pro Wrestling Noah. It got started by Masawa back in the early 2000s, and they really had a resurgence in the last couple of years, like right after the pandemic or during the pandemic. Like banger after banger, it was the company that Great Muta was last in. They have amazing wrestlers like Segura, Go Shiozaki, like just please, Elijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Like, and they're world champions Mexican right now. Throwing that out there, awesome. And Jun Akiyama, he's over there, and you see him on AEW Dynamite. You can get Pro Wrestling Noah if you get the Wrestling Universe app. You don't have to pay like $6.99, $7.99. Get on your phone, cast it onto your TV. It's so good. And while you're there, you also get DDT Pro, which features a combination of comedy wrestling, especially, legend right here, Yoshihiko, the doll, and like legitimate, like intense, amazing wrestling. Like to get the app, to get this and like 2 other companies, bargain. And with Pro Wrestling Noah, you get to see wrestlers like Tetsuo Endo, Matsuno, oh God, sometimes you can't spell it with the middle vowel. Mao, which is the human being, not the duck, and amazing gaijin such as Chris Brooks. Oh, while we're at it, there's also All Japan. You remember that company that set the standard for wrestling in the early 90s? They're kind of making a comeback, especially with Kento Miyahara, who is like a wrestling god. And Nakajima, who wrestled in Pro Wrestling Noah, is now in All Japan. He's their world champion. So right now, they're having some of the best matches ever over there. They got stuff over on Fight TV, but if you can't find it, all their stuff is on the Internet Archive. Whoever is putting it on there, I want to kiss you on the mouth. Finally, there's Glate. Or Gleat. I think it's Glate. And that free on YouTube. They have routine stuff. And I'm really impressed. They have All Japan wrestlers pop up in there. They got freelancers over there. I need to learn some of the names. There's a group of guys there called the Bulk Orchestra. Amazing stuff. Japan, do not sleep on these companies in Japan. I'm not going to talk about the Joshi stuff because Light Skin Gaijin got that. Love you. What do I watch? What company do I watch? I can't pick between these companies. What am I going to do on this Saturday night? Well, I know. I can go on YouTube and watch Shania Twain. The woman in me wants you to be. Hi, XLJ Happy Roll.
Oh, Best Scout. We love you. Hi, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah, so obviously no Collision this past Saturday night. I was I completely spaced it and forgot about the All-Star game, which is sad because the All-Star game is freaking in our home state, but I just forgot that they were just not even airing it. But anyways, nonetheless, thank you, Best Scout. He has a great mind and idea. Go check out Japanese wrestling because there's so much good stuff outside of New Japan. Just saying. All right, B-Roll, we got a little bit of an update as well. We're getting closer and closer to Revolution, and I don't know how I feel about it, bro. It's Sting's last match. It's getting down to the wire here. What, a couple weeks, and this is it?
Yep.
Man, so we do know Sting and Darby will be defending those tag titles in Sting's last match against the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. We know your AEW Championship will be on the line in a triple threat with Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. Speaking of championships, Toni Storm to defend her Women's Championship against Deonna Purrazzo. Orange Cassidy will defend his International Championship against one Roderick Strong. Eddie Kingston putting that Continental Crown on the line against Bryan Danielson. But we did find out that Will Ospreay will be making his AEW debut at Revolution, and his opponent is going to be his fellow stablemate, Takeshita. keeping it in the Don Callis family. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. I mean, that could easily steal the show. It's like
Yep, it's already 5 stars, right? Like
right, yeah, it's like already Osprey coming out the gate with just a phenomenal first matchup. So,
which I love it because I'm ultimately hoping that okay, now that he's full time AEW, he doesn't need to be with the Don Callis family. Like
yeah, go on your own, bro.
He's too good on his own. Hopefully something happens and he gets him and Kyle Fletcher out of there, and yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens on Sunday, March the 3rd at the Greensboro Coliseum for Revolution. Also, some news coming out of AEW this week. Yes, finally, this is long overdue. Queen Aminata is all elite. Truly deserving of it. She has been killing it week in and week out on AEW television, just working with just about everybody. Now we need to give her like a high-level push, Tony. It's like you've seen what she good, but now man, let's see her go after the TBS title. I'm cool with that. We always have been a huge fan of hers ever since we got to, follow her career in Warrior Wrestling. Got to see her on a couple occasions. She is a phenomenal competitor. And she is now all elite, baby. Were you pumped about this?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 2 people like recently like that I've like really been hoping like, man, I hope they sign them. I hope they like Brian Keith and then her. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't always like, comment at Tony Khan, but I'm like, I have a couple of times with like with Brian Keith and her. I'm not saying I'm the reason. But who else do you want signed?
Yeah. You got Papa Khan's number in your back pocket, apparently. So, but congratulations to Queen Aminata, who's now.
As we've learned, I've got the Rock's number. Now I got Papa Khan's number.
Boy, it's getting thick in here, folks. Anyways, also this week we found out Rocky Romero apparently is going to be working in the front office for AEW. Very smart wrestling mind. Did some great work in New Japan in a similar role. So awesome to see Rocky Romero get a little bit of a promotion. He's got a great mindset. So happy for him to be on board with the AEW team. And speaking of which, looks like QT Marshall is coming back to AEW, back in the role he was before. So were you a little surprised to see him already coming back, or what do you make of this? Nothing?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. Sorry. I was kind of glitching out there, I think. But
yeah, you're just kind of like, I don't know. It happened. So I don't know. I like QT. Like, I feel like I really have enjoyed his work in Mexico, man. Like, I'm telling you, that match he had with Penta was a bloodbath. That I think it was an ambulance match or something. One of the Triple Mania shows, man. But hey, QT Marshall's got a great mind for pro wrestling, so it's going to be a huge asset having him back in AEW. Also this week, we found out the BCC will be heading down to Arena Mexico for a CMLL show. It's a big 8-man tag team matchup, as we're going to have Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and everybody's favorite BCC member, one Wheeler Yuta. Almost forgot Wheeler was in BCC. I haven't seen him for like weeks. What the hell do you think he's been up to? I think he got stuck in a library. No, he ain't been injured. He got stuck at like a library. Injured. He was reading like all the like encyclopedias and stuff there because he's fucking white bread. There, I said what I said. Anyways, yeah, so they're going to be making their way down to Mexico for a big 8-man tag match. So that'll be exciting to see. Also, this week at AEW, you all like this. It was announced that one Rob Van Dam will be competing on the 420 edition of Collision. Yeah, there you go. Your OG Rob Van Dam looks like he's smoking a joint right now, even though we can't show that on our channel, bro. But yeah, Rob Van Dam competing. Oh, Rob Van Dam's going to be competing on Dynamite this week in a big 6-man tag match as well. So always great to see anytime you get to see Mr. Monday Night on Wednesday nights because he is the whole effing show, baby. So tune in on April 20th for that. It's going to be a fun time indeed. Well, speaking of fun times, it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good, close, personal friend, Spicy Guac, for a spicy take.
Spicy Guac with the spicy chats, letting you know that the AEW Women's Division still hasn't gotten any better. One day it will. We miss you, Jamie Hayter.
Man, he speaks the truth. You know, I feel bad. Like the past couple weeks, we've just been so packed with stuff. Like we've been jerks and haven't been talking about TNA really. Like what's been going on Impact's been some awesome shows here these past couple weeks. Which, if you're not watching Impact, we always say it. You can check them out on their app as well as on their YouTube channel, and they're always on Access TV as well. This past week was a pretty solid show. Kushida going up against Moose. And with everybody barred from ringside. Also, what do you make of the whole Jordan Grace, Savannah Evans with the end of that with Giselle pretty much turning on Savannah Evans now? And like now, it's like obviously we know she's going to be targeting Jordan, but it's just like I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I like that. I wonder how Jay is feeling about this. You know,
what did she had been dubbed like the Black Widow or something, right? Like,
yeah,
can't keep
well,
like a
partner. True. That's true, and I mean, she's was partners with her for a long time, but well, here we are, folks. So, nonetheless, do not be sleeping on TNA wrestling because they're killing it right now. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room. We reported this last week. The backlash here on the Scott D'Amore being fired and let go from TNA Wrestling. We do know that. Well, we don't know, but supposedly there was a letter from the talent sent to Anthem, which I'm not sure like how legit this is or not. Do you think this is legit?
I would say it's probably legit.
Yeah, I could see it, but I could see it going the other way too. I don't know. Like it's still perplexing to me. Like I can understand to a certain extent of why they're like, okay, we had to let him go because we spend too much money. But also too, it's just like this is the guy, the reason why you're in the spot you're. I don't know. Like I'm indifferent about it. Well, personally, I think it's bullshit, but. It is what it is. But one thing that has kind of been floating out, at least with this after this, is it looks like Tommy Dreamer has been reported as to be like the head of creative for TNA Wrestling now.
Yeah, and
but we don't know that for certain, though. It's the thing.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like, okay, if Tommy Dreamer's head of creative, okay, love that, but like, didn't want it at the expense of D'Amore getting fired.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, and also I know Delirious is on there as well as I believe also Gail Kim is a part of creative right now as well. So, who knows? But Tommy Dreamer has an excellent wrestling line for pro wrestling, and I'm just gonna say it now: Tommy Dreamer for the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame in Philly. Why not have the heart and soul of ECW go in Philly? But nonetheless, it's very interesting what they got cooking in TNA Wrestling. So you should watch them every Thursday night. It's always awesome. Speaking of awesome stuff, lots been going on in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's go to our good friend, the CDC, for a New Japan report.
Greetings from Earth. It is I, the CDC 83, coming at you with your New Japan Action Report. This week was Fantasticomania. And that's your New Japan report. Yeah, I can't get into it. Sorry.
Well, there you have it. I agree with him.
Do you think I like that intro though? Do you think he did that himself?
That is literally the biggest takeaway from this whole Fantastic Mania. So those of you, if you don't know, New Japan doesn't have the rights to some of the certain competitors' music, so they had some fun with it. And somebody on the New Japan staff decided to hum somebody's music or something in. So there you go. I think that's going to be the wrestling theme of 2024. I'm just saying. It's like you've got the greats, like, you got Cody's song, you got Roman's theme. It's going to be right up there. Like this one's going to be right up there with it. But anyways, some sad news we found out this week in the world of WWE. It looks like Matt Camp has been released from the WWE. I myself was a little shocked with this one because, I mean, very knowledgeable. He's like one of us, essentially. The bump he was one of the more enjoyable reasons to watch the bump. But being let go, I guess. I don't know if this is just TKO was like still trying to clean up some stuff or what happened here. I'm bummed to see him go. I don't know how. I mean, I didn't really watch the bump on a regular occasion anyways, if I'm being honest, but like from what I've seen from it, he's just a very enthusiastic dude. So I hate to see this, but I know he's going to land right on his feet and go back in the world of pro wrestling. Remember when he first got started, he was part of Busted Open Radio. So who knows? Maybe he goes back to Busted Open.
Busted Open.
Nonetheless, we here at PW60 was saddened to hear this, and we hope to see you soon back on some type of a wrestling show in the very near future. Also this week, we found out that longtime WWE employee, senior writer and producer Jennifer Pepperman has left the WWE. Not sure if this is stemming from all the baloney that's going on behind the scenes in corporate, or if this was something that she had planned or whatever. But I mean, she was a huge part of the WWE for the past, I don't know how many years she's been there, but it was a ton of years. So, or is this also too? Was she kind of part of the who we won't say's regime, and this is part of like the cleaning the house, so to speak? I don't know. But nonetheless, she is gone from the WWE. Speaking of the WWE, the WWE Experience opened in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is like the first ever like kind of WWE theme park, so to speak. I saw some footage from it, dude. It looks pretty sick. Like there was like, I think they had like an escape room or a haunted attraction or something that was like the Undertaker. I saw that. That looked pretty dope. Damn it. Why can't we have a wrestling theme park in freaking North America? Tell me why, B-roll.
Tell me why.
It's not right. It's not right, man. But like I say, it's great for them over there and part of their like big touristy stuff, and you know, they got that dirty Saudi money they can throw at this. So, but nonetheless, kudos to WWE, and hopefully this is like one of many to come. Because damn it, I need some damn WWE experience. I need me a WWE theme park. I want to go like on a Ric Flair roller coaster, and the whole time he's like, woo! Little like a whirly, it's got the circle or something. You twist.
I could see it.
Yeah,
you could see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, it's come that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Michael for an indie report.
What about? It's boy Michael with another independent wrestling event report. First off, we have Reality of Wrestling presents The Last Stand Rumble, March 9th. At the Walker, Texas Warrior Arena, 9300 Emmett F. Rory Road in Texas City, Texas, 77591. Reality of Wrestling Facebook page for more information. That flyer just came out. Prestige Wrestling and Pride Style Inclusive Pro Wrestling presents Pride and Prestige at the Meet Las Vegas venue in Las Vegas, Nevada. That is at 233 South 4th Street in Las Vegas, Nevada, 89101. You can go to either Pride Style Inclusive Pro Wrestling or Prestige Wrestling Facebook page and Twitters for information on that event. And lastly, we have New South Pro Wrestling presents the Heart of the Southern 16 tournament. This is a 2-night event, March 1st and 2nd, at the Singing River Brewery in Florence, Alabama. You can go to New South Pro Wrestling's Facebook page or Twitter for information on that event. That just came out recently, so there ain't much on that. So again, these 3 events coming up if you're in their local areas, I would go.
You heard the man there. You need to go check out some independent wrestling. There's some great indie wrestling going on in your area. Well, speaking of some indie wrestling, how about a big shout out from one Damian Priest as he shouted out the Micro Wrestling League on TikTok and other social media. And here you see what I believe Chief Littlefoot is his name, picking up the one Damian Priest. Hey, did you get a chance to watch any of the Little Big Brawler show on, what was it, Discovery or whatever?
I have not yet.
It's a pretty fun show. I would recommend checking it out. It's pretty cool. It's some nice little... I mean, it's just like any other reality show, you know?
Yeah.
It's plain as day, like scripted, but, you know, that's besides the point. But anyways, it's worth checking out, nonetheless. Oh, no. Remember we reported about this a couple months ago? Well, now it's official.
I'm tired of talking about this.
We haven't talked about this nearly enough, B-roll. The John Cena Wile E. Coyote movie. I know, Reggie. I'm sad, too. Has been canceled officially. Nobody's picking up. Why do you think nobody wants to show this movie? I mean, this looks like it would be an all-time classic with John Cena and Wile E. Coyote going up against Acme.
Maybe it's because you can't see him.
That could be part of it, yes. But I don't know, man. It always blows my mind how like a movie can practically get made and they just shelve it because they're just like, well, fuck it. But it's a tax write-off for him, I believe. So there's that. But nonetheless, Reggie is very upset that they're canceling the Wile E. Coyote John Cena movie. How about this one, man? This was kind of like out of nowhere. Tony Khan in an interview during Super Bowl week at Radio Row, the infamous Radio Row, and was interviewed by one Cam Newton. And he actually invited the former quarterback to compete in an AEW ring? I don't know, man. Like he's a talented football player, but I don't know about that. That's gonna be kind of a hard pass.
Interesting wardrobe, you know, like.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Cam's always been on fleek there.
He lives the gimmick, I guess you could say. So,
yeah, give him credit where credit's due. So. Well, let's talk about this man, one Drew McIntyre. A little update kind of on his contract status because haven't officially made a statement that he has resigned with WWE, but you can already see he's booked on some European dates after Mania. So I'd say it's a safe bet that Drew McIntyre is resigned with WWE, but expected a big-time matchup at WrestleMania. In my opinion, I think he's the guy that wins the Elimination Chamber. That's my prediction there, and I think he goes on and beats Seth at Mania. Honestly, he deserves the moment. Or he beat Seth, and what if Damian comes out and ruins the moment? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. But
if they did that to Drew, he better just leave.
Oh, the dirtiness! But I hope I didn't talk that into existence. But nonetheless, it does look like Drew McIntyre will probably be staying in the WWE. And speaking of, I don't know, like, actually, this is no segue for this at all. This is some crazy shit to come out.
Depressing, terrible, stupid.
The next
news.
episode of Dark Side of the Ring A lot of you fans probably won't recognize the man in this photo. I personally, I recognize him because I was part of my childhood. One, Billy Jack Haynes, who wrestled in the WWF in the 80s. Well, this past week it come out that he was actually arrested in connection with murdering his wife. Yikes. If I'm being completely honest, I mean this is no disrespect. I'm kind of shocked this hadn't happened already because Billy Jack Haynes has always been known as kind of like a loose cannon, if you will. So it's unfortunate. You hate to hear this. Hopefully justice is brought to the family and stuff. But yeah, sad news in the world of wrestling. But Billy Jack Haynes has, yeah, he is. It's not looking good, B-roll. Not looking good. Completely random. We threw you a curveball out of nowhere. Speaking of random, sorry, Brian. Let's go to Brian with Brian's random moment of the week.
Hello, everybody. Hi, PW60 viewers. Time to acknowledge the house. I'll get to that in a moment. And we're wrapping up this portion of the series for my random moment of the week with looking at your ultimate version that you create of pro wrestling factions of the past and of the present. And the timing of this is hilarious. I find it funny because I've had this one planned for the very end of the series, which happens to be today on this episode. And the faction I'm going to mention is a current faction, and the timing is perfect because, of course, if you watch Friday Night SmackDown, you know who's now officially a member of the Bloodline. And that is the one I'm talking about, is the Bloodline. And I want... Now, if I could make it real easy and say, give me a maximum of 10 of all current people across all promotions. I could go back and I may do it in the future, may do it in all time and try to fit in 5. That would be really hard. But I want maximum of 5. And again, if you pick, Heyman, of course, it's a manager. That's separate. That's kind of a default. If you want to have him as a managerial person like he is now in his wise man position. But I want maximum of 5. Go ahead and fill 5 spots. Again, current. But here's a caveat. You don't have to use all WWE. You could go outside of WWE, but we're not going back in time to the Wild Samoans or Yokozuna and using a time machine. We're looking at the current day. So yes, by default, Roman, if you want to keep him in there, perfect. If you want to go ahead and have The Rock now that he's officially in there, perfect. If you want to do Solo and then Jay, keep it like it is, but then add one more person. Or, here's the fun part, think outside the box. Think in MLW, Jacob Fatu. He's a member of the actual Bloodline. Throw him in as well. If you've ever seen his work, he's amazing. Zilla Fatu as well. So many choices. So I want your current top 5 version, ultimate version of the Bloodline. And comment and let us know. And have yourself a great day and enjoy more great PW60 content. And acknowledge the house. Throw up the ones.
Oh, Brian, we acknowledge you. So does Reggie, too. Always bringing the thunder with those scenarios, man. I love it. I love it. And speaking of loving, we love our Wrestle Talk and our wrestling content creators. And this week, our content creator of the week, probably a lot of you already know because this young man has over 3 million followers.
And millions.
Talking about one Baker Banner. Derek, of course, a massive wrestling fan. I always love watching his videos, man. He always has a blast going to wrestling shows. I think not too long ago, I think he asked Bailey to be his Valentine. So the boy is smart and wise beyond his years. Got some good taste in the ladies. So, but if for some reason you're under a rock and you're not following Baker Banner, you need to give them a follow because they put out some amazing content. What is that, Mr. B-Roll? What do you?
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What's that?
You said, if for some reason, Bailey, if you don't want to be his Valentine.
Hi. Hi. I love cats too. So, and dogs. Anyways, Baker Banner is our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week here on PW60. Well, B-Roll, it is that time. We said we had some news. We said we had a couple announcements. One of them we've already actually announced on this show, but it is now official on their website. Yes, you can see it here. Squared Circle Expo 4 is rapidly coming in the Indianapolis area. It's Easter weekend, and you can see it's official. Boosie is going to be in the house at our table. Allie, Catch, and Effie will be there for us Saturday. Allie's also going to be there Friday, too, as well as our good, close, personal friend, the Ratty Daddy himself, Cole Radrick. You can catch him at our table, too. It's going to be some action-packed adventures going on. We're going to do a special live episode of Learning the Ropes from Squared Circle Expo as well, and so much more we got planned. So if you're in the Indianapolis area, you need to come check us out, along with our good, close, personal friends, Ruby Ringside. They're going to be there with us as well. It's going to be an amazing time. How pumped are you for Squared Circle Expo 4, my friend?
Oh, I am so pumped, not only to get to go and have a booth and all that, but to go and to get to experience what is Squared Circle Expo, take in some live shows. I mean, we're going to freaking see Ultimo Dragon versus Cardona.
I know, right? I know.
What in the 2024? Man, I'm just trying to think of like who all I want to like try to sneak away and meet.
Scott Norton's going to be there. Haku's going to be there. I mean, that's some of my bucket list ones. Arn Anderson.
Just announced along with us, not at our table, but announced around the same time with us, Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali is going to be there. Yeah, this is going to be the premier convention in the Midwest. You got to check out Squared Circle Expo 4. We've been to a lot of wrestling cons, and we're biased because it's our hometown, but still our home state, but still, like Squared Circle Expo is like the best con out there, I think, for wrestling, in my opinion.
Oh, they knock it out of the park, 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, look at this guest list they have. Over 70 wrestlers going to be there. It's going to be huge. So you need to come check us out. Like I say, Easter weekend, March 29th to the 30th. We're going to be there. And come say hi to us, Cole TV. You can meet Allie, Effie, Cole, Ruby Ringside, the whole crew. Gentleman Gus. Oh, yeah, Simply Nicholas. They're all going to be there at Squared Circle Expo 4. But that's not all the news we got, folks. We got some really big news we're going to announce to you next. Well, just check this out. That's right. We've got merch again. Yay!
Sorry, I was still rocking out.
Dramatic applause here, but that's right. We are now official. We're on Pro Wrestling Tees. Holy guacamole, Batman. And yes, you can get your Cole TV shirt. Not pictured here. You can also get your PW60 shirt as well. It's all over there on Pro Wrestling Tees. If you know, it supports us, it supports the channel and everything. So if you want to show your love, get you a Cole TV or PW60 shirt, which is now available over on Pro Wrestling Tees. Man, I'm so excited for this.
I'm pumped. We are very excited about this. Maybe one day looking to add some hoodies, some hats. You never know. Maybe a tie-dye shirt. But
look at that beautiful shirt, though. Purple with the logo. Man, that's sharp.
Yes.
It's sexy AF. It's almost well, no, I'm going to go ahead and say that's sexier than the Collision set. I said it.
He said it, and he said it. Mm-hmm. I just got one question for you, sir. Have you ordered yours yet?
I have.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
Hey, and a little birdie told me actually that they're doing a President's Day sale right now too. So it's like on their website. So honestly, you'd be able to get a discount anyway. So
do it. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt.
Yep. As soon as you're done watching PW60, get your shirt up on Pro Wrestling Tees.
There you go. And sadly, we do have to report one Steve Mongo McMichael, after just getting announced for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he has been hospitalized. He's got a UTI infection, which we know personally, both of us know how rough that can be on family members. We here at PW60 want to wish Mongo well, and I just hope and pray that he's going to get over this and we'll get to Ohio to be a part of the Hall of Fame induction because the man deserves it. So shout out there to Mongo. Hope you get to feeling better. And lastly tonight, what do you make of this? Stone Cold Steve Austin in an interview has pretty much more or less stated that he thinks he's got one more left in him for WrestleMania.
What?
And it
What?
appears like the one guy he wants to go against is that matchup we got teased many years ago, but we never got against one CM Punk. What do you make of a Stone Cold CM Punk matchup at WrestleMania?
Oh, who knows? I wish I had a broken skull here next to me somewhere, but I don't.
What?
What?
Well,
I'm gonna drink a beer. 2 beer.
But hey, man, if Austin's healthy and stays healthy and happy and like can have a match like he did with Kevin Owens a couple years ago, you know, let's see what happens, man. Be interesting to see. Well, Mr. B-Roll, somehow we've done it again. We made it through another week of wrestling action, and on this road to WrestleMania it continues, folks. Who knows what we're gonna see this week on Raw, SmackDown. And, of course, everything going on in AEW and Japan. So much wrestling and so little time, folks. Let's go wrap it up for this episode of PW60. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime over here, Mr. B-Roll. We'll see you next week on another episode of PW60. Everybody have a great week.